Hello and welcome to Mangum News. I'm your host, Elijah Mangum. This week we'll be discussing Florence High School's game against Natchez, multiple arsons in Jackson, a breakdown of the midterm election results so far, Andor episode 10, and my weekly weather report. Without further ado, let's begin. Florence High School closes out their season with a defeat against Natchez, 38-17 at home. The Jackson Police Department arrested 23-year-old Devin McLaurin for allegedly committing 6 cases of arson in Jackson Tuesday morning. The fires occurred on Greater Bethlehem Epiphany Church, the baseball field at Jackson State University, Central, Dalton, Pascagoula, Cherry Street, and Terry Road. The 2022 midterm elections were held across the nation on Tuesday, and there were 435 House seats, 35 Senate seats, and 36 governor's races up for election. Mississippi held 4 of those House seats. In the 1st Congressional District, Congressman Trent Kelly defeated hair salon owner Diane Black with 72.4% of the vote. In District 2, Congressman Benny Thompson defeated Republican Brian Flowers in a tighter race than originally predicted, carrying 57.8% of the vote. Congressman Michael Guest defeated Democrat Sawaski Young in the 3rd Congressional District with 71.1% of the vote.
You know, I think it signals that the people of Mississippi are engaged. The people in Mississippi want to change, that they're not happy with the direction of the nation. And we see people who were waiting in line today to stand to vote for races really in many places that only had a congressional race. And so to see that type of energy, that type of excitement leads me to believe that nationwide we are going to see Republicans are going to have a very good night once all the votes are counted.
Congressman Guest also addressed the top issues he would like to see presented in his 3rd term in office.
We've got to get inflation under control. We've got to bring down the cost of goods for everyday Americans. I think we can do that first by trying to bring down energy prices. We can do that by stopping needless spending. I think we need to continue to look at ways in which we address our infrastructure, but that needs to be traditional infrastructure: roads, bridges, water, sewage, rural broadband. We know that those are needs facing every community. And while we recently passed an infrastructure bill, much of that infrastructure bill did not go to those key areas. And so I hope that those will be things that we will work on as a Congress and hopefully be able to find areas where we can work with the administration to get some of these items actually signed into law.
The crowd at Congressman Guest's watch party were confident that Guest would win and were anticipating a Republican majority in the U.S. House of Representatives that has not yet been confirmed as of the recording of this newscast.
We will fire Speaker Pelosi and we will return the people's house back to the people.
Currently, Republicans are leading with 206 seats and Democrats have 182. There are 47 seats remaining to determine a majority. As of the recording of this newscast, the Associated Press has not called Senate races in Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska. The Georgia Senate race between incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock and former NFL player Herschel Walker have gone into a runoff set for December 6th. Notable races such as Pennsylvania and Ohio were called for Democrat Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman defeating Republican Dr. Oz with 50.8% of the vote.
I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue, but we did what we needed to do, and we had that conversation across every one of those counties.
In Ohio, Republican author J.D. Vance defeated Democrat Congressman Tim Ryan with 53.3% of the vote.
We've been given an opportunity to do something, and that's to govern. And to govern to make the lives of the people of Ohio better. That's exactly what I aim to do. And because of you, I get a chance to do it.
With 4 races yet to be determined and 2 third-party seats currently residing in the Senate, the Republicans are in the lead with 48 and the Democrats with 46. In the governor's race, 4 states have yet to be called: Arizona, Nevada, Oregon, and Alaska. Notable wins included Republican former White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who defeated Democrat Chris Jones with 63.1% of the vote, becoming the first female governor elected in Arkansas.
I like to say I think my dad's the best governor Arkansas has ever had, one of the best governors the country has ever seen. And I'm hoping to take that title away from him pretty soon.
The Republican governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, defeated Georgia State Representative Stacey Abrams in their rematch with 53.4% of the vote.
Our message to voters was about making sure they had the opportunity to achieve the American dream right here in the Peach State, no matter their zip code. Each day of this race, we talked about how Marty, the girls, and I think we live in the best state in the country to live, work, and raise our families.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott secured a 3rd term against former Congressman Beto O'Rourke with 54.8% of the vote. In addition to Republican Marco Rubio holding on to Florida's Senate seat, incumbent Republican Ron DeSantis won re-election, defeating Congressman and former Governor Charlie Crist with 59.4% of the vote.
We chose facts over fear. We chose education over indoctrination. We chose law and order over rioting and disorder. Florida was a refuge of sanity when the world went mad. We stood as a citadel of freedom for people across this country and indeed across the world.
Andor Episode 10 succeeds with thrilling action sequences, great character development, and an increasingly intriguing storyline. Overall, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Thursday will be sunny with a high of 76 and a low of 54. Veterans Day will be sunny with a high of 76 and a low of 44. Saturday will have a 30% chance of rain with a high of 54 and a low of 32. Sunday will be sunny with a high of 56 and a low of 36. Monday will have a 40% chance of rain with a high of 56 and a low of 44. Tuesday will have more of the same with a high of 54 and a low of 38. Wednesday will have a 20% chance of rain with a high of 56 and a low of 38. That's all we have for this week. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Mangum News will not return until Thanksgiving Day for Season 2 finale and Mangum Studios' next special presentation, What Are You Thankful For? 2022 edition. Until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all on Thanksgiving.